and stabbed to death inside a store.
Shows two men fighting with each other around 10:23 Tuesday night.
Sarah's not been seen since being spotted on CCTV.
Have you ever wondered what happens when security cameras are not just recording, but capturing moments that will change lives? In a world where surveillance has become essential for solving crimes, these silent cameras have helped uncover hidden secrets and bring perpetrators to justice. From bold robberies to shocking kidnappings, the invisible eyes of the cameras are not just recording, they are revealing the truth. In this video, we delve into 15 real crimes captured on security cameras that could have gone unnoticed if it weren't for the surveillance. Join us as we show you how these cameras, discreet yet powerful, have uncovered the face of criminality and brought to light the darkest side of the unexpected. Are you ready to discover what really happens when no one believes they are being watched? Number 15. The incident at the El Paso Zoo, an absurd crime. A crime as absurd as it was reckless, captured on security cameras, sparked outrage from thousands of people online. Last May, Lucy Ray, a 26-year-old woman, committed one of the most senseless crimes ever recorded at a zoo. The incident occurred in El Paso, Texas, when Ray, apparently without thinking of the consequences, climbed a fence, crossed bushes, and jumped over a 4-foot moat to enter an exhibit of primates. While enjoying the view by a waterfall, she came face to face with Libby and Sunday, 2 monkeys from the exhibit. At one point, the woman threw something at the animals, but if they didn't take it, she would return to the safe area, later being helped out of the enclosure. This act, in addition to being dangerous for the animals, was recorded on video and quickly went viral. The zoo, which did not have surveillance cameras in that area, did not notice the incident until the video was shared on social media. After identifying the culprit, it was revealed that she was Lucy Ray, who worked as a legal assistant at a law firm. As a result of her behavior, Ray was fired from her job and arrested by the local police. The El Paso Zoo planned to charge her with trespassing, a serious accusation. Fortunately, Libby and Sunday were not injured, but the incident raised serious concerns about the potential effects of this contact with humans. While scientists could not confirm whether the monkeys had ingested what Ray offered them, the fear that they might have been exposed to something that could alter their behavior was a major concern for the zoo. Moreover, the possibility that Ray could have transmitted COVID-19 to the primates became a sensitive issue. Fortunately, no health consequences were reported for the animals. This event underscores the risks of attempting to interact with animals in controlled enclosures and how impulsive decisions can have unexpected consequences, not only for the individuals involved, but also for living beings who should never be exposed to such situations. Number 14. Business under attack. Dennis O'Connor's brave response. A daylight robbery interrupted by an unexpected act of bravery. In a quiet horse betting establishment in Glanmire, Ireland, the afternoon passed without incident until the calm was shattered by 3 armed individuals storming the premises. It was around 2:30 p.m., and Tim Murphy, the employee behind the counter, was serving customers, including Dennis O'Connor, an 85-year-old man who was watching the horse races. The situation quickly turned dangerous when the criminals, 2 armed with hammers and 1 with a shotgun, burst into the establishment demanding money. While one of the robbers with the shotgun pointed it at Dennis O'Connor, the other 2 intimidated Murphy and the customers lying on the floor. However, what the criminals didn't know was that this elderly man was not the type to be intimidated easily. At a moment of distraction for the criminals, Dennis O'Connor, far from panicking, decided to act. With admirable courage, he stood up from his seat and, instead of fleeing, began actively engaging in the confrontation. First, he tried to face the man armed with the shotgun, who, upon seeing the elderly man's determination, fled the scene. O'Connor did not stop there. Seeing the 2 robbers with hammers, he seized the opportunity to throw a chair, which startled the criminals. This act confused the attackers, allowing O'Connor to quickly face the robbers. Without wasting any time, Dennis O'Connor kicked firmly, causing the criminals to abandon the premises, leaving behind their loot and a failed robbery attempt. O'Connor's bravery and cunning saved everyone in the establishment from a potentially much more dangerous situation. His quick reaction, without hesitation in confronting the attackers, exemplified how an individual, even in old age, can make a difference in a crisis. This brave act served as a reminder that heroism can be found in the most unexpected places. Number 13, Elizabeth Cook, the robbery that unveiled a darker crime. On August 5, 2021, a man named Jeff was stunned to find an unknown woman attempting to steal his parked car at night. The woman, Elizabeth Cook, tried to justify her action by saying that she had mistaken the car for her friend's and had permission to borrow it.
My friend, right now.
I don't care.
Here.
Get out of here.
Look,
call the police.
I'm so
call
sorry.
the police.
However, when Jeff pointed out that she had attempted to break the steering column of his car, the woman fled the scene. Nevertheless, in her hurried escape, she left her belongings inside the vehicle. Seeing the opportunity to help, Jeff continued filming the incident and refused to let Cook retrieve her belongings without involving the police. After reviewing the contents of her phone, Jeff discovered that Cook had a criminal history and began sharing the video and details of the case on social media with the intention of exposing her behavior and returning stolen items to their rightful owners. What seemed like a simple car theft quickly turned into something much darker. Jeff discovered a video recorded by Cook in January 2021 in which she spoke about a man named Bobby Phillips, who had recently been released from prison after serving a sentence for theft, not for murder, as she had claimed. In the video, Cook described how, on the day Bobby died, emergency services were called to his house due to his weak pulse. While the woman insisted that Bobby had instructed not to be revived, doctors determined that his death was caused by health issues related to substance abuse. The most disturbing part was that Cook had recently altered Bobby's will, leaving all his inheritance to her, which raised serious doubts about her intentions. The police launched an investigation for theft, drug-related offenses, and potentially for Bobby Phillips' death. The case uncovered Cook's cold manipulation, as she seemingly used her relationship with Bobby to benefit from his passing. Number 12, stabbed over poor manners. On September 20th, 2021, in Gowanus, Brooklyn, a seemingly trivial argument turned into a fatal tragedy. Joan Nunez, 37, had a disagreement with Edwin Pedrosa, 42, when she held the door open for him at a store and he did not thank her. This sparked a confrontation between them, which quickly escalated. According to a video filmed by witnesses, Pedrosa shoved Joan against a wall, and in the heat of the moment, they both started fighting inside the store. The altercation did not end inside the store, but continued outside. Pedrosa, in a fit of rage, pulled out a knife and stabbed Joan multiple times in the stomach and neck. After the brutal assault, Pedrosa fled on an e-bike, leaving Joan seriously injured in the street. Although she was rushed to the hospital, Joan passed away the following day from her injuries. Pedrosa was arrested shortly afterward and faced charges of involuntary manslaughter and illegal possession of weapons. This incident highlights how a minor breach of manners can escalate into extreme violence, leading to an unnecessary tragedy. Number 11, police kidnapper, the case of Wayne Couzens, and the death of Sarah Everard. A devastating crime that shook the world and showed the fragility of trust in institutions. In a heartbreaking case that occurred in London on March 3, 2023, Sarah Everard, a 33-year-old woman, was kidnapped and murdered by a man who, in theory, was supposed to protect her. Wayne Couzens, a Metropolitan Police officer, used his authority to commit a crime that left a deep mark on British society. Sarah Everard was last seen that night crossing Clapham Common after leaving a friend's house. CCTV cameras captured her image as she walked through the streets of London, and what seemed like a normal walk became the last time she was seen alive. Wayne Couzens, who was on duty as a police officer, stopped Sarah under the pretext of enforcing COVID-19 lockdown rules. He used his badge to pretend he was making a legitimate arrest, showing her a fake order card, handcuffing her, and taking her in his rental car. What happened next was even more horrifying. Couzens drove to Kent, where after raping her, he took her life and hid her body in a wooded area near his home. The crime was discovered days later when authorities began investigating the case, and it soon became clear that the murderer was one of the very guardians of the law. Despite his attempts to cover up the crime, authorities tracked his movements and arrested Wayne Couzens on March 19th. When arrested, Couzens lied and tried to divert suspicion, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. Finally, in June 2023, Couzens pled guilty to the rape and murder of Sarah Everard and was sentenced to life imprisonment. This case not only shook Sarah's family, but also sparked a national debate about women's safety, trust in the police, and the need for reform in institutions. Cressida Dick, the commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, resigned after the case, and discussions began about gender-based violence and the need to change the structures that allow such crimes to persist. Sarah Everard became a symbol of the fight for justice, safety, and reform. Her tragic death gave voice to thousands of women who face violence daily and led to an unprecedented increase in police accountability and transparency. Number 10. Silver Enraged. An outburst of violence at a convenience store. A convenience store becomes the scene of a violent outburst of anger. The day that 43-year-old Aligracia Silva stormed into the Chucky convenience store in Donna Ana, New Mexico, became a moment no one at the establishment would ever forget. What seemed like a regular day at the store took a disturbing turn when Silva, consumed by rage, began throwing objects at the cashier, causing chaos. Fortunately, the cashier managed to escape the scene before the situation escalated further. However, Silva's outburst did not end there. As if his fury knew no bounds, Silva exited the store and headed towards the gas pump area where a black SUV was being calmly filled by its driver. Without any provocation, Silva forcefully opened the vehicle's door, sparking a confrontation. Instead of calming down, he began assaulting the driver, who could not defend himself against the attack. Fortunately, some passers-by who witnessed the scene quickly intervened and managed to stop the assault before further damage occurred.
It's not the first time the suspect has been accused of dangerous behavior in public. Tonight we have the video of this morning's scary spree.
Silva, still in his uncontrollable fury, tried to flee the area, but the police arrived promptly and arrested him. The consequences of this violent outburst were severe. The store owners estimated the property damage caused by Silva to be around $20,000. Additionally, Silva was charged with property damage and physical assault. This incident not only highlighted the danger that can arise from an outburst of uncontrolled anger, but also demonstrated how security cameras can play a crucial role in documenting and resolving such crimes. Aligracia Silva's case became a reminder of how important it is to control emotions, especially in public spaces, where even the smallest outburst can have devastating consequences for everyone involved. Number 9. Kidnapping in Philadelphia. A kidnapping in Philadelphia was captured by security cameras in a terrifying manner, and although it happened in just a few seconds, the swift response of the community played a key role in resolving the case. On November 2nd, 2014, 22-year-old Carlisha Freeland Gather was walking home after a long day working as a nursing assistant. At 9 p.m., she was intercepted by a man who forced her into a parked car. In a dramatic turn, the young woman tried to defend herself. She screamed for help, dropped her phone, and even broke a window in her struggle to free herself. But it was in vain. The man, wearing a dark jacket and hoodie, forced her into the vehicle and fled the scene. The terrifying event was recorded on video, and the images quickly spread through social media and news outlets. The Philadelphia police wasted no time in distributing the video, hoping someone could identify the kidnapper. What the witnesses and community did not know was that a crucial detail in the footage would help solve the case. The man appeared to be walking with a limp, which caught the attention of investigators. By tracking the car and analyzing the clues, the police soon located the vehicle, a Ford Taurus, and began working quickly to find the victim and the perpetrator. Thanks to the cooperation of the citizens, the kidnapper was arrested within a few days. The man, identified as Delvin Barnes, was eventually detained and faced kidnapping charges. Carlacia, although terrified, showed incredible strength, and her father expressed pride in the courage she displayed in such a traumatic situation. Despite what had happened, Carlacia managed to overcome the horror, and the story of her kidnapping became a reminder of the importance of staying alert and taking action when witnessing a crime. Number 8. Azam Mangors and the tragic fate of Lorraine Cox. What seemed like an innocuous encounter on a summer night ended in a tragedy that left a community in shock. On September 21, 2020, 32-year-old Lorraine Cox was walking alone through the streets of Exeter after a night out with friends. She had been drinking, and that night she was approached by an unknown man, Azam Mangors. Security cameras captured Mangors following Lorraine for a long time, until they eventually struck up a conversation. Apparently, Mangors managed to convince Lorraine to accompany him to his apartment. However, that was the last time anyone saw Lorraine alive. In the following days, Lorraine's friends noticed something was wrong. Her behavior on social media was unusual, and she even posted a message claiming to have moved to another city. Concerned, her close circle reported her missing on September 23rd. The police soon launched a search, and thanks to a video captured by security cameras, located Azam Mangors. Upon his arrest, he lied about his identity, claiming to be a homeless man from Iraq, but the police soon uncovered the truth behind his statements. What the authorities did not know were the lies and manipulations that Mangors had woven. He had recorded private moments with Lorraine, and, despite his claims that it had been an accident, the truth was much darker. During the investigation, police found dismembered parts of Lorraine's body in a wooded area near his apartment, and the coroner was unable to precisely determine how she died, though asphyxiation was considered one possibility. Mangors, a man with a complicated past full of secrets, eventually admitted his guilt after being interrogated by detectives. In the weeks that followed, disturbing details emerged, such as his online search for how to dig a grave, which led investigators to believe his intentions were much darker than initially stated. The case was a shock to the community and a tragic warning about the dangers lurking in everyday life. Azam Mangors was sentenced to 20 years in prison, but Lorraine Cox's death remains a grim reminder of how an apparently harmless encounter can result in a fatal tragedy. Number 7. Business rivalry. The tragedy of the innocent student. A dispute between two seemingly innocent businesses ended with the death of a young woman and a series of crimes recorded by security cameras. On May 20, 2019, the rivalry between two tire stores, Quick Shine and Rhode Island Tires, reached a tragic climax. It all began when the owner of Quick Shine decided to diversify his business and sell tires, directly competing with Faraz Suleiman, the owner of Rhode Island Tires, whose store was located right next to the competitor. What started as a simple disagreement over the placement of a sign escalated to violent acts. At some point, Suleiman decided that the only solution was to permanently eliminate the competition. For £1,500, he hired a hitman to kill the owner of Quick Shine. However, tragedy struck when the hitman, instead of shooting the business owner, shot and killed an innocent student who had gone out to buy groceries. The young woman, who had been sent by her parents to break her Ramadan fast, was in the area when the shooting occurred. The bullet intended for the rival business owner struck the young woman, who tragically died, while another bullet wounded her in the shoulder. The impact of this incident was devastating both for the victim's family and for the community as a whole. The crime was captured by the security cameras of Rhode Island Tires, which recorded the exact moment of the shooting. This footage provided key evidence that was quickly requested by the police, who used the images to identify Suleiman and the accomplices involved. The hitman, Suleiman, and 6 other people were arrested and charged with murder, attempted murder, and other crimes related to the shooting. This case highlights how a business rivalry can escalate to unsustainable levels with fatal consequences. The tragedy demonstrates that, at times, the desire to win at all costs can lead to the destruction of innocent lives, and that violence is never the answer. It also illustrates the importance of security cameras in solving crimes, as they helped quickly identify the perpetrators. Number 6. Daring cashier. The surprising reaction of an employee. During a robbery, armed robbery is undoubtedly one of the greatest fears of any store worker. However, when a thief pointed a firearm at a cashier at a Jimmy John's establishment in Kansas City, cashier Tucker Murray did not react with fear or panic. Instead, he displayed surprising calmness and unexpected bravery in the face of an extremely dangerous situation. The robber aimed directly at Tucker's head with the gun, but he kept his composure. He complied with the thief's demands and emptied the contents of the cash register. What was surprising was that, in an unexpected twist, Tucker offered the entire cash register to the robber, maintaining an unfazed demeanor. The robbery was recorded by security cameras, and the footage quickly became crucial evidence for the authorities. Thanks to the video, the police were able to identify and arrest the robber in a short time. Tucker Murray received recognition for his bravery and calm attitude during the incident, which served as a powerful reminder that in moments of extreme tension, people can surprise us with their ability to stay calm and act with determination. This case also underscores the crucial role of video documentation and how it can be a decisive factor in quickly solving crimes. Tucker Murray's courage in the face of a life-or-death situation was a lesson in strength, composure, and resolve. Number 5. The Great Car Heist, the failed escape of an incompetent criminal. A robbery at GameStop and a failed police chase in Houston. The Great Car Heist that occurred in Houston could have been a typical story of an audacious crime followed by a movie-style chase. However, the criminal in question was not a criminal mastermind, but a man whose escape attempt turned into a mix of incompetence and bad luck. The day began with a robbery at a GameStop store, where the individual managed to steal what he likely thought would be an easy haul. Instead of a traditional escape, the criminal opted to flee in a white Chevy Camaro and began an evasive maneuver through heavy traffic. But when attempting to escape on the highway, things did not go as he expected. The driver was erratically weaving, driving aggressively, and dodging vehicles, which only attracted more attention, especially from the air. A news helicopter team soon joined the chase, capturing the Camaro as it attempted to weave through traffic on the shoulder. The situation worsened when the man realized that instead of disappearing into the traffic, he had become completely trapped. It wasn't a brilliant escape. It was a desperate act. The worst was yet to come. Police helicopters also joined the pursuit. With infrared cameras and a bird's-eye view, escaping from the authorities is almost impossible, especially when surrounded by vehicles. The end of the chase was almost comical in its predictability. The driver exited the highway, stopped behind several trucks and vehicles at a traffic light, and waited for the inevitable. The police surrounded his car, and after a few tense moments, the criminals surrendered. It is hard to know if the man expected to escape or simply realized there was no way out. In the end, the crime ended as disastrously as it began, and the criminal was arrested. Once again, security cameras, aerial surveillance, and the incompetence of criminals showed how almost impossible it is to escape the authorities in the modern age. Number 4. Road rage, a shootout in Miami. Road rage can lead to devastating consequences, as this chilling incident on the roads of Miami shows. On June 21, 2021, a simple disagreement between two drivers escalated into a high-tension confrontation, all captured by a dashcam. Eric Michael Popper who was traveling on Interstate 95, became involved in a traffic dispute when he changed lanes recklessly, cutting off another driver, Renee Suarez. Suarez's reaction was immediate. She honked her horn and started gesturing out of the window, showing her anger. The situation quickly escalated. Suarez began tailing Popper closely, which only heightened the tension between them. The straw that broke the camel's back was when, according to Popper, Suarez threw an object at his vehicle. Fearing for his safety, Popper pulled out a gun and fired 11 shots at Suarez's car, while both vehicles were side by side. Miraculously, no one was injured in the shootout, but the footage captured by Popper's dashcam made the situation even more disturbing. The video went viral quickly, and both drivers contacted authorities to report the incident. Popper was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, while Suarez also faced charges for criminal damage for damaging Popper's vehicle. Both appeared at their court hearings in 2021. This case highlights a crucial issue that should not be overlooked. Road rage can be extremely dangerous and can escalate quickly, with severe consequences for everyone involved. Security cameras like the dashcam provide key evidence in these cases, raising an important reflection on how to remain calm behind the wheel and seek safer and more rational ways to handle conflicts on the road. Number 3. Thief with mask and bag, a clumsy robbery. In September 2022, a man named Christopher Badman attempted a robbery at the Marine Hotel in South Wales, where the annual Elvis Festival was being held. His plan was simple: rob guests while using a bag on his head to hide his face from the security cameras. However, his attempt was clumsier than he had anticipated. Badman arrived at the hotel around 3 a.m., using the bag as a disguise, but soon realized that his visibility was limited, making it hard to move freely. Despite this, he broke into one of the rooms, but was interrupted by the victim, who woke up while Badman was trying to steal a laptop. In a panic, Badman ran out of the room, removing the bag once he was out of the camera's sight to avoid being identified. However, it was too late. The security cameras clearly captured his face as Badman exited the hotel. He tried to cover his face again with the bag, but he was already too exposed. The footage was analyzed by the police, who quickly identified the thief. Christopher Badman was arrested and sentenced to 16 months in prison for his failed robbery. This case is a clear example of how technology, like security cameras, can be crucial in solving crimes, even when criminals try to hide their identity in ridiculous ways. Number 2. Failed kidnapping attempt. A chilling kidnapping attempt in the Bronx became a story of bravery and solidarity. On October 11, 2021, a woman and her 3 grandchildren were walking near a gas station in the Bronx when a man, partially covered by a blanket, approached them suspiciously. In an unexpected turn, the man grabbed one of the young children, a 3-year-old girl, and quickly fled the scene. The grandmother, horrified but determined, faced a heartbreaking decision. Should she leave the other 2 children to follow the kidnapper, or stay behind to protect the ones left? With unwavering courage, she decided to chase after the man, regardless of the danger. But she was not alone. Strangers who were nearby, upon witnessing the distressing event, came to help. Together, they managed to corner the kidnapper, later identified as Santiago Salcedo, a homeless man. Salcedo tried to escape on his scooter, but quick police intervention stopped him. In the video captured by security cameras, Salcedo can be seen quickly grabbing the girl, wrapping her in the blanket, and fleeing, while the nearby community reacts heroically to save her. After a tense exchange, the kidnapper was arrested and faced serious charges, including attempted kidnapping and endangering the welfare of a child. The situation, though terrifying, ended in victory thanks to the bravery of the witnesses and community surveillance. This incident highlights the importance of quick action in the face of imminent danger and demonstrates how citizen cooperation and security camera technology can make a difference in extreme situations. Number 1. Furious passenger. A violent incident on a BC bus. One weekend, a disturbing incident took place on a BC transit bus in Abbotsford, British Columbia, when a man from Surrey, identified as David Allen Lucas, became involved in a verbal dispute with several passengers. What began as a verbal disagreement quickly escalated into a violent physical altercation, leaving several people injured. According to footage of the incident, Lucas was involved in an aggressive verbal exchange, making threatening remarks before attacking several passengers. As the fight intensified, other passengers bravely intervened to restrain the aggressor until police arrived. The confrontation resulted in minor injuries to 4 people. The man will face charges of assault with a weapon and other multiple assault charges due to his violent behavior. This incident is a reminder of how a seemingly minor situation can quickly become a dangerous threat, and how the courage of a few can prevent worse consequences. And so these stories remind us of the power of security cameras, which are not only witnesses, but key pieces in uncovering the truth. Without these recordings, many crimes could have remained in the dark. They show us how sometimes the most unexpected events occur right in front of a camera. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the most surprising moments captured by surveillance. Don't forget to subscribe for more shocking stories, and remember, there's always more than meets the eye. See you next time.